The General Hospital recap features Lucy refusing to give up on figuring out what's going on with Marty. In this episode, Felicia told Lucy what she learned in Marty's hotel room, while Marty got a generous job offer. Brooklyn also tried to get the flash drive back from Tracy. Liz and Finn shared some awkward moments before Terry refused to mind her business. Finally, Alexis, Christina, and Sam learned about Molly's plight. Now let's dive a little deeper into the details. As Lucy, Lynn Herring, and Maxie, Kirsten Storms, argued over who downloaded the Deceptor file, Brooklyn, Amanda Seton, couldn't stand listening anymore and admitted she was the culprit. She explained that she was trying to know the business better to be better at her job and create a social media campaign for the Deceptor. Lucy was still furious and worried competitors would get a hold of the info. Maxie defended Brooklyn, but Lucy remained angry, especially when BLK explained she took the flash drive with the information home. Maxie was later surprised when Felicia walked in on their argument, but she was there to see Lucy, so Maxie left and Felicia, Christina Wagner, relayed what she found in Marty's Michael E. Knight garbage. Lucy was confused about bank deposits from Pennsylvania and wondered if Marty was doing something illegal. Felicia warned Lucy she might want to drop this whole investigation altogether. Lucy refused, so Felicia said they should head to Pine Valley to find out more. Trissy had a business challenge for Martin, so he sat and listened to her. She needed someone to step in at ELQ with Valentine, James Patrick Stewart, missing, and Nettie, Wally Kurth being Nettie. Martin didn't think he was qualified but accepted the offer anyway. Tracy even got him to agree to attend the Quatermained GH fundraiser as her guest. After Marty left, Brooklyn arrived to tell Granny Tracy they have a problem with the deception file. BLQ eventually got Tracy to give back the flash drive, and Sasha witnessed the whole thing. The Davis girls met up at the only Port Charles nail salon, with Molly, Holiday, Mia Kriebel, arriving carrying booze. Alexis, Nancy Lee Gran, thought they had something to celebrate, but it was the opposite. She changed the subject to Scout and how she was coping with Drew, Cameron Matheson, reporting to prison. Christina, Kate Muncy, could tell there was something very wrong with Molly and confronted her about it. Molly was just upset being forced to talk about it all, but finally told her mother and sisters that she could not have a child with her eggs. After Molly calmed down, Alexis, Christina, and Sam, Kelly Monaco, offered their support. Sam suggested looking into surrogacy or adoption, but Molly couldn't even think about that at the moment. TJ, Taj Bello, stopped by the Savoy to talk to Curtis, Donald Turner, and Marshall, Robert Bassett. He told them what had been going on with his and Molly's quest to have a baby. Marshall and Curtis were sympathetic as TJ worried about Molly shutting him out. Curtis explained that Molly just needed time to process things and urged TJ to be patient. Elizabeth, Rebecca Herbst, and Finn, Michael Easton, shared some awkward moments in the on-call room where Finn said that he explained to his daughter that she can't keep playing matchmaker. Therefore, there would be no more romantic dinners in their future. Elizabeth then suggested they get together again, but with the kids. Finn left when Terry, Cassandra James, walked in and Liz's BFF pressed her to talk about the date Violet, Joffiel Love, had set up. Liz insisted she and Finn were better as friends, but Terry refused to buy it. Liz also thought she ruined things with Finn months ago, but Terry encouraged her to try again. As for Finn, he turned up at the Metro Court pool with Violet, so Tracy had a talk with him about his relationship with Liz. She wondered if they were better off as friends but also knew Finn still had feelings for her. At Nina's place, Sonny offers Gladys some tea to help her relax. Sasha comes out of a spare room but couldn't sleep because all she sees is Brando in that hospital bed when she closes her eyes. Sonny has to head out, so Nina walks him to the door. He gets a call from Alexis and is informed about the attack on Diane, which he relays to Nina before taking off to Jade. Gladys and Sasha sit on Nina's couch and look at old photos of Brando on Gladys' phone. Sasha realizes without Brando she has no family left. Gladys tells her they are still family, and she's stuck with her. Gladys suggests if Sasha is ready they can begin making funeral arrangements. Nina thinks they don't have to do this now, but Sasha doesn't want to leave Brando in the morgue. She feels this would be good for them, and they'll have somewhere to visit him. Gladys makes a call and gets troubling news. The funeral home won't take Sasha's card because there is a bank hold on it. Sasha realizes it's because Brando must sign off on her purchases as her guardian. She breaks down and doesn't know what to do. Nina offers her card to pay for the funeral costs. Sasha thanks Nina, as does Gladys, for all she's done for them. Nana tells them that she's not going anywhere. At the hospital, Portia informs Curtis that Diane Miller was brought in as the latest victim, and they are operating on her now. She texted Trina, who is out with Rory, and didn't want to tell her about Diane that way. Curtis thinks it's bound to get better, and thanks to the Invader article, they are watching their backs. Portia notes Jordan isn't too happy about it. Jordan appears and explains it's making her job more difficult, but she needs Portia's help. Jordan again reiterates the need for keeping important details under wraps. Curtis vents, "That was always your area of expertise." He walks off to give them privacy, and Jordan suggests they go somewhere more private to talk. Sonny arrives at the hospital to try and find information about Diane, but the nurse can't give it to anyone who isn't family. Curtis appears and tells him that she's in surgery. Curtis also thanks him for looking out for his father and keeping his antipsychotic meds a secret after he learned about them. Sonny says he wasn't just looking out for Marshall, he also did it because he respects Curtis. In Portia's office, she tells Jordan that Diane was infected with the same poison as Brando, but Finn had an anti-venom ready. Jordan still worries that the killer made sure Brando didn't survive, so she's worried about Diane. Jordan arranges for someone to stand guard over Diane and calls Rory. Portia regroups with Curtis and asks about his talk with Jordan. He explains Jordan swears she didn't deliberately sit on the divorce papers, but she said some strange things about them and as if they were keeping secrets from one another. He thinks Jordan assumes everyone keeps secrets just because she does. Portia thinks back about Jordan questioning her about the truth regarding Trina's father. Portia tells Curtis she just remembered something she needs to take care of and takes off. At the PCPD, Dante questions Dex in the interrogation room. Dex states he has no idea what happened to Diane, and when he entered the garage, she was already on the ground bleeding. Dante asks why he was there in the first place. He explains Sonny asked him to lock up after Diane while he took Sasha home. Dan doesn't understand how he didn't see anyone enter the garage, and he senses Dex is lying about something. Dante notes Dex has been at the scene of all 3 attacks, and that's a pattern. Dex reminds him that he gave first aid to Diane and Ava to save their lives. Dante suggests Dex call his lawyer and leaves him. Dex makes a call to Sonny and says he's in trouble and needs his help. Sonny says he'll be right there. Sonny arrives later and speaks with Dante about Dex and the attack on Diane. Dante tells his father that Dex has been at the scene of every attack and somehow saw nothing each time. He suggests Sonny ask himself how well he knows this kid. Sonny meets with Dex in the interrogation room, who swears he is innocent of the attacks. He asks Sonny if he believes him. Dante and Jordan enter before Sonny can answer. Sonny asks if Dex is under arrest. When they don't answer, Sonny tells Dex they can leave. Jordan suggests Dex not leave town. Alone, Dante informs Jordan that Dex swears he didn't see anything. She thinks there is something off about Dex, and Dante agrees. She asks Dante to keep digging. Portia storms into Jordan's office later and can't believe what she said to Curtis about her. Cam, Joss, Rory and Trina arrive for a double date at the axe-throwing joint. Cam and Rory go to grab the axes, and Joss tells Trina she's happy she ended up with Rory. Trina says as opposed to Spencer. Trina admits with Spencer out of her life she's happier than she's been in a while, and she just wants to have fun. Trina turns the conversation to Joss and asks if she and Cam are okay. Joss says they're past the rough patch. Trina wonders if Joss told him about dumpster diving with Dex. She hasn't and points out Cam didn't tell her about Spencer's lies. After throwing some axes, Rory gets a call from Jordan informing him about Diane and asks him to come to stand guard over her. Rory tells Joss, Trina and Cam that he has to get to work and that Diane was attacked. He says the good news is a suspect was brought in. Rory goes to leave, and Joss follows him and stops him. She knows he can't say certain things but asks who the suspect is given she's so close to this case. Rory says all he can say is it's someone who has been at every crime scene and has been questioned before. She realizes it's Dex. Joss leaves, and Trina asks Cam if they should get out of here too. Cam wants to air things out, and he knows she's mad at him for covering for Spencer. She is angry, but it doesn't mean she can't get past it. Cam explains he was torn between two people he loves, and it was difficult. Trina thinks about keeping Joss's secret about Dex and understands. Joss arrives at the station and questions Dante about Dex being a suspect. Outside the station, Sonny offers Dex a ride home. They get into his car and he ominously notes they're going to make a stop first. Down in Jacksonville, Carly speaks with Olivia on the phone and feels bad she's not there with her family, but Sonny believes it's better she stays here. There is a knock at the door, so Carly says she'll need to call her back. She answers to find Drew standing there. She's surprised to see him, and he explains he called Mia to find out what happened to her. Carly invites him in. Drew assumes Carly spoke to her family. She confirms she knows about Brando and feels terrible she was so out of touch. She also explains Sonny felt it was better she stays here and Drew agrees. He also says he's got the kids well guarded. Carly can't believe he tracked her down to tell her about Brando. He notes it wasn't the only reason. He wanted to be here to support her, which means the world to her. Carly's phone dings and she gets an update on the cemetery being moved. She explains what is going on to Drew and that she hired a lawyer to fight it, but she has no standing because she's not a resident. Drew won't let her give up and has an idea. He reminds Carly he happens to own a media company that they can use to raise hell. They toast to making Jacksonville sorry they ever crossed Carly. Drew notes it's getting late, so he'll go find a hotel and return in the morning to meet up with her. She thinks that the couch in her room pulls out and he can stay here. He isn't sure that's the best idea considering. Carly says they are adults and can have a friendly adult sleepover. He agrees to stay. Drew preps the couch, which as it turns out doesn't pull out. She apologizes and suggests the hotel bring up a cot, but he reminds her he spent 2 years in a cell, so this is heaven. He bunks on the couch and Carly climbs into the nearby bed. Carly thanks him again for coming. He promises they'll fix this situation with her mom.